And on a night where slam doors on both benches were plentiful and indicative of the way this night went, goaltenders slamming doors at both ends. But for the second straight night here at the Garden, it was an empty Garden for the Rangers. Hi everyone, welcome inside Madison Square Garden for the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show. John Giannone in my spot between the benches. We're joined in studio by both Henrik Lundqvist and Steve Valiquette. And I'll start with you, Henrik. I'm sure there was, on some level, a deep appreciation for what Charlie Lindgren accomplished tonight. There were some Henrik-esque saves that he made in this one.
Yeah, he was incredible. You know, if you're a Rangers fan, you watch this game, I feel like there were so many positives, so many good things the Rangers team did. They were creating a lot of chances. They outchanced Washington. They didn't give up a ton, but they couldn't solve Lindgren. And, you know, he came into this game. Obviously, he wants to establish himself for this season. He's going to be the backup, but he played like a starter tonight, Steve. I think he came up with 5-6 huge saves when the Rangers were pressing, both in the second and in the third period.
Yeah, look, I think that if you play that game 10 times, you probably win 9. You know, it was just one of those games, and it's very tough to swallow, especially in a week where you're playing 4 games in 6 nights. The Rangers did empty the proverbial tank, and I think that Charlie Lindgren, you know, beyond being the star of the game, you know, he really has that character behind him. I've heard about him for really years, from his St. Louis days, the goalie coach there, just always talked about his character and how he was a gamer. And he's not the most technical goalie, but he's a goalie that finds a way. He's got a deep will to his game. So, you know, it's one of those games where somebody comes in here and plays like vintage Jimmy Howard. That's what I remember him coming in here all those years, Hank, and just having his way with the Rangers. Now, you go back 3 years, and you remember the Rangers beating Washington in the first round, and, you know, you're saying to yourself, okay, well, where's that Charlie Lindgren? Well, this one seems to be a little bit more motivated. Last year when he came in here and had the shutout, talked a lot about how, you know, he's playing for his brother on that night. And, you know, there was something definitely special going on with his game tonight that stole 2 points from the Rangers.
Yeah, and also as a goalie, when you're feeling it, you're playing like the way he did, you also need puck luck. There was 4 or 5 times where he was scrambling a little bit, looking around, relied on his teammates to block the shots. And, you know, when you're in the zone like he was tonight, you just seem to earn the bounces a little bit. But he was the story. But to me, at the same time, watching the Rangers play, you break down the defense, the amount of scoring chances they created, you still have to be somewhat happy with their performance.
You know what, Hank, too? Watching that game, John, you're saying to yourself, it's just a matter of time. They're going to break through. I had the sense they were going to score at some point in the third period, and that's not the way I felt covering most games last year. This season definitely feels different.
Okay, but that said, guys, the facts are, and it could be an anomaly, I'll ask you, 10 goals in 2 games on the road, no goals in 2 games at home. What gives?
What gives? Well, to me, this was a completely different game if you compare this one to the home opener on Tuesday night. You know, the energy, the life was there. Again, the amount of scoring chances they created. A totally different game. It was a great hockey game.
Great hockey game.
You know, and it just proves like a great hockey game, you don't need a ton of goals. You want intensity. There was physicality, scoring chances, great goaltending. It was entertaining. But to your point, Steve, I thought for sure they were going to break through already in the second period with the amount of chances they had. You got to give Charlie a lot of credit for you know, the way he came up, especially in the second half of this game.
Yeah, Rangers outshot the Capitals 35-21 on the night, but for the second time in 4 games this season, they are shut out. Let's begin the reaction inside the Rangers dressing room with the captain, JT Miller.
Well, JT, sometimes it's going to be nights like this. You gave a lot of rubber on him.
Yeah, it's, you know, we talked after the first game of the year and how you lose, and that was unacceptable, but I think we can hang our hat with how we worked today. Created a lot of offense. Felt like we outplayed them for a majority of the game, and sometimes, you know, we can sleep better tonight knowing that we played a much better game.
How tough was that, you know, for Quick? Another good night, too.
Yeah, he played great. When we had a couple breakdowns, he made some great saves. Always just keeping us in the game.
Is it frustrating, though, to get that many opportunities and not get them by?
It can be, yeah, but honestly, it feels good knowing that you're getting the looks. It's a long season. You know, you know, we're going to steal some games that we maybe shouldn't have been in throughout the season. They all come around, but today we felt like we liked a lot about our game, so we can build off of this.
How do you feel personally? 4 games, 6 nights.
Better every game. I thought today was by far our best game, and yeah, I knew it would take a little bit of time. So.
Is it just one of those games where you got to tip your hat to the other goalkeeper?
100%. Even it seemed like he couldn't get anything by him. He played great, so like it happens.
How tough is it when you put up that kind of effort and don't get the result you want?
Yeah, I mean it's frustrating. Obviously, not getting the points, and but at the same time, I think we should be encouraged by how we play today, and keep building on that. And I think if we play like that more nights than not, I think we're gonna have a good season.
What do you think of the power?
No, good looks. It was couple entries that weren't very good, but I thought we had some good looks, and should have probably scored a couple.
What about Quick's performance?
Yeah, I mean he keeps us in it. He gives us a chance, and you know, having him or Shesty back there is, I feel like that's a story every night. They gave us a chance to win, and he did so today. We were just not able to capitalize on our chances.
You know, with any game, as great as you could play, there's still mistakes, and those are things that you're constantly trying to clean up. But you know, all in all, great effort. Unfortunate that we weren't able to get the win, though.
The one goal they scored was a deflection right in front there, but you guys only give up, I think, 21 shots on goal. Is that kind of the way you have to play, especially without one of your defensemen? Is that a pretty good effort on your part defensively?
Yeah, no, we. Yeah, great effort all over the ice from our group. You know, obviously they got some very dangerous weapons. You know, and we did a good enough job to keep them, you know, somewhat quiet. Obviously, they were able to get the one there, and you know, so you gotta move on. It's a long year. You know, unfortunately, didn't get the 2 points, but you know, it's all about Tuesday now.
What's that like when you get the effort though, and you don't get the 2 points, but you see, you know?
Yeah, that's hockey, right? It's. You know, we're confident if we can consistently put an effort like that together, that, you know, we'll have more wins than losses. So, you know, it's obviously the way we want to play. You know, it's just yeah, we didn't get the 2 points, but so at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, getting the 2 points. So we'll try to get that on Tuesday.
How about for you personally, when you see, you know, what's going on down at the other end? I mean, you raised your level on your end. How did you feel about your performance tonight?
Yeah, it was a good hockey game, right? It's, he certainly made some great saves to keep the lead, and you know, unfortunately, I wasn't able to have the answer. Right?
Yeah, it does bear mentioning. I mean, the Rangers have played 4 games. If you don't count the 2 empty netters on opening night, they've allowed 3 goals in 4 games. And Henrik, it sounded like from Miller and Zibanejad and Jonathan Quick, they said exactly what you said about how they should feel after this.
Yeah, and listen, John, we talked about this in the pregame, that the biggest improvement needs to happen in their own end. We need to, you know, minimize the east to west passes, the high danger opportunities. And if you look at these 4 games, they have not given up a ton. So I think that alone is a very positive start for the New York Rangers. Do they need to start scoring at home? Yes, absolutely. But I agree with the players here, all their interviews. They know the effort were there. The way they play, the intensity, and the amount of scoring chances they created should be enough to win a hockey game. But Charlie Lindgren was the difference.
You know what, Hank? I remember having this conversation with Mark Stahl, and I think if I don't make a mistake here, Carolina won the Stanley Cup in 2006. They missed the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2007. And we were on the bus. It was late in the year. And I said to Stalzy, I said, what's going on in Carolina with your brother? They're not going to make the playoffs after they won the Stanley Cup. What's going on? And he said that he was told from his brother, when Cam Ward was really hot at the beginning of the season, the team wasn't scoring. And then later on in the season, when the team was scoring, Cam Ward had a slump. And they missed the playoffs. You know, and that's, if there's one thing that I'm taking away from what's happening in this first week, is that you don't want to waste great goaltending, because nobody plays at .985 save percentage for the whole year. And this coming week, provided that Shesterkin and Quick can keep playing on this clip, you got to bank some goals here so you can get some points in the standings. That's the big picture.